They still remember it so well they can almost smell the mint in the wind, feel the touch of the olive branches. Moments relegated to memories. Life now for the Farwan family of Syria is a world away in a place they didn't even know existed until they got on a plane for Canada as refugees. Lethbridge, Alberta. Only a few months after arriving, there are daily discoveries. Most about the meaning of finally being safe, of finally building a home. A place for the 8 Farwan kids. Mohammed Eid, Mahmoud, Jibril, Yamama, Ahmed, Tiny Kauthar, and the wildly energetic Noor and Adam. To get all of them safely out of Syria, safely to Canada, was the idea and hard work of their parents, Halil and Huda. Everything they've sacrificed has been for their kids. Their first few days in Lethbridge meant calling a motel home. But it really didn't take long before word came that a house was waiting. A family on the run for 3 years, unpacking again, hopefully for the last time. Moving in is hardly a simple affair with 8 kids. Neither is the prospect of keeping that new fridge stocked. That's a worry for later. For now, what matters is there is a place for all. That's new and so welcome. The Farwans have a caseworker, and part of that complicated enough job is running through the not-so-basic basics. It can be a lot to take in.
It's going to be your responsibility to make sure that your sidewalk is clear. Cross, tuck it over to the front, and you just kind of sprinkle a little bit. You don't need a lot. When it's time to take out the garbage, it has to go all the way off of the sidewalk.
There are some simple pleasures, just the beginning of those. We gave the Farwans a camera for those first few weeks to record what struck them most. This is one of the first scenes on the tape. Halil had awoken to the sound of these visitors under his bedroom window and got the kids up. Curiously, a moment he says when he knew his family would be okay.
في شغلة غريبة جدا إنه الغزال بيمشي بالشارع ما حدا بيقول له شو، وفكرت إنه الغزال عنده يعني بيقدر يعيش بأمان بالمنطقة هاي، حتى لو إنه ضعيف بس بيقدر يعيش. فكرنا بالأمان. الأمان طبعا بالأمان. الأمان هو البيت البني آدم، السكون، الهدوء.
It's now a few months later. All the kids are in school, and the hard work of building a new life sets in. Years in limbo, and sometimes on the run, means this family hasn't had much of a routine. Halil wants to change that, starting with a lunch-making lineup orderly enough to put a military to shame. The pressure to keep up is real. Out the door, off to the bus. Do they have passes? Everyone know where to go? Halil in charge of it all. And smoking a lot more than he has in a while. That is the stress behind the smile. He takes the young ones to elementary school not far from home. Huda gets the older kids downtown to high school, then Kauthar off to daycare. Finally, she meets Halil for their own English class.
Okay, so
Here's another Halil-inspired ritual.
please stand up.
Once he realized how his kids start their day at school, Halil insisted his own English classes begin every morning with the anthem.
Face this way to face the flag.
It's a work in progress. We peek in on each of the kids in their classrooms. Jibril is young enough that the learning should come easily. He's just got to get past his shyness first. There are moments when language doesn't entirely matter. The athletic abilities of young Nuh earns him fast friends.
Let's go to the bottom of page 64, where it says, "That's good to know, Adam."
Adam is struggling,
Okay.
A, Q,
but his teachers see what's happening and want to prop up his self-esteem.
Adam.
Realize there's much he can teach his class.
What's one?
واحد
Wahad?
اثنين
Min?
ثلاث
Sarah?
أربعة
Tucked away in daycare, Kauthar is amazingly quick to adjust. Oblivious, calm, safe. She is perhaps the luckiest one. The older kids are in a lonely limbo. Heads filled with memories, sweet and sorrowful, that they want to share with those around them, but don't yet know how.
We're all practicing English, right? It's okay if we make some mistakes in English. We just try our best, okay?
They will stay in English classes until they've learned enough to pick up the regular high school curriculum. The teachers don't stop trying to draw them out. Pick a tree, pick a flower, tell us about it. That's the class assignment.
Olive trees? Do you know where olive trees grow?
Almost all the Far One kids reach into their past, their olive trees.
There we go.
They can't put off thinking about their futures, though. Ahmed, the oldest, should be out of school next year, but then what?
Yeah, there we go.
He wants a good job, a solid future, but English will still be a challenge.
Is this your tree?
He seems determined to avoid life on the margins, which is a threat for so many refugees.
Is that yours, Mohammed?
What do you want to do? You're in school, you're learning English. What do you want to do next year?
بس أخلص المدرسة حابب إني أروح الكلية وبس أخلص من الكلية أدخل بالميكانيك أدرس ميكانيك.
ميولي يعني أكثر إشي بحب العلوم يعني وشوي رياضيات يعني كان ميولي يعني إذا engineer or doctor يعني.
Engineer or doctor? Wow. Your father and your mother did a big thing getting you here. What did your parents give up to let you come here, to get you here?
تخلوا عن ذكريات أكيد يعني.
يعني نحن اخواتي الصغار خاصة يعني انه لغتهم مش كثير يعني، بس ابوي وامي تخلوا يعني عن اللغة الاصلية لغة الام، تخلوا عنها واجوا هون تعلموا يعني اللغة الانجليزية.
يعني طبعا هو مش راح يقصر معنا ولا هو مقصر معنا، وطبعا احنا بنحبه كثير لانه دائما معنا، ونقدم له الشكر انه دائما معنا، بقدم له مساعدات ونصائح just.
Yamama's worry was always about fitting in Canada, leaving her close friends behind, standing out for wearing her headscarf. But in that enviably easy way of the young, she's okay. At least she's getting there. You have one very good friend. I have a very pretty picture. يا حلوة. You're both beautiful. Tell me about her.
هاي صديقتي أسماء. تقريبا أيام الطفولة نحن أنا وياها، يعني تقريبا زي اللي عشنا مع بعض هيك إشي.
If you could talk to her now, what would you tell her?
اشتقت لها.
And then, of course, Halil and Huda, both so outwardly enthusiastic, but also sometimes admitting to a fatigue they've never quite known before.
Toronto Legislature.
The strain of learning English after a lifetime of Arabic. How is English class for you?
Very good, very good. I can speak English now. Come the Canada, no, speak English now, speak English little.
What about you, Huda?
No, same.
Yeah,
same.
And Huda and Salah together. Is that okay?
Halil's plan is for the whole family to be fluent in English in a year. It's smart, ambitious, but so hard. The reality of what they're taking on is just sinking in, even if they hesitate to acknowledge it openly.
Capital city, Yellowknife.
This is a precarious time for them. Those here in Lethbridge who've worked with refugees see a pattern, an initial eagerness to be better than good, always on, always grateful, and then crushing exhaustion. Is it any wonder why?
Need effort.
Yes.
New effort.
When we come back, slowly they build this new life in Canada. But what happens at the other end of the phone line gets hard to take. The camera in the family's hands again for a surprise night out. The Lethbridge University hockey team invited groups of Syrian refugees to take in a game. They are all in, and all invited to the dressing room. Forget any notion of being shy. The Farwans and their new Syrian friends putting on their own show after the game. Feeling like they belong, are actually finally at home, takes time, and there are setbacks. One slow, sleepy morning, Huda makes a regular check-in with her mother back in Jordan. This sort of call, she says, is always a bit of a performance.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله. لا الحمد لله إحنا بخير. ما في شيء. ما في شيء بس. ما في شيء ما تكش تحكيلي. لا والله ما في شيء بس إيش نطمن عنكم.
Huda and her mother trying so hard to keep the veneer of happiness intact. They all are.
لا مليح مليح. هاي محمد يحكي معك.
And here it is, after months of watching Halil be so purposely positive for his family, he can't keep it up. It has to be harder than anyone can really grasp.
عمي شلونك؟ كيف حالك؟ شلون صحتك؟
كل ما الأولاد يعلموا البنات بفضل لكم.
لا بنيجي زيارات يعني رايحين هاي بنيجي زيارات عليكم ان شاء الله بنيجي.
وين الدنيا وين؟
بنيجي لا تخافيش. يعني اللي ان شاء الله يعني مثل
Just a glimpse of the real burden here. That's all anyone will get.
ان شاء الله ان شاء الله.
Long faces gone the moment Kauthar pads into the room. These parents are playing the role of their lifetime for their kids, that everything will be just fine until it actually is.
When do you think you'll be able to be with them or see them again?
بس إن شاء الله إن شاء الله إن شاء الله ترجع سوريا ونرجع كلنا أبلادنا. الكل يعني الكل مشتاق إنه يرجع على سوريا.
ذكريات سوريا، أصدقاء سوريا، أحلام سوريا، هاي راحت. أهم من الذكريات. مستقبل الأولاد أهم من الذكريات. إذا مستقبلهم جيد معناته أنا جيد. وبمحي الذكريات.
Everything now riding on making it work in this place that months ago they'd never even heard of. It is one thing to flee for your life. It is something else entirely to learn how to live again. Adrienne Arsenault, CBC News, Left.